What's going on YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Casper's Kicks is checking in once again. Hope y'all are doing well, staying safe, having a great week so far. So today for y'all, it's like a semi-early review. It's like a half early review, half not early review, considering the shoe came out in some places, but it hasn't had its wider release yet. So I guess I can call it early review. It is what it is. But if you have not looked at the title yet, I do have with me today the Jordan 1 Rebellionaires, and let me tell you, I was not 100% sure about this shoe, but when I opened that box and saw the shoe in hand, I quickly changed my mind. I must say, the shoe is actually very nice to see in person, so I'm gonna go ahead and jump into it. I know I've talked a little bit, so let's go ahead and jump into the review over the Jordan 1 Rebellionaires. Alright, so first and foremost, before I jump into this review, I do want to give a quick shout out to DSA Texas on Instagram. If you have not followed him yet, go check him out. He was able to give me this pair. He had plenty of pairs, so he may still have pairs, so if you need them, give him a follow on Instagram, go hit him up and see if he can get you a pair. So once again, shout out to him. So if you're not familiar with the Rebellionaires or the backstory behind the shoe, basically, it all started in the 1984 season for Michael Jordan, and that is, I believe, it was like it was either 1984 or 1985 when he debuted the Air Jordan 1. But basically, the NBA didn't want Michael Jordan wearing that shoe, and so they began fining him every time he wore that shoe. And I believe it was like $5,000 a game. They were fining him every time he wore that shoe, and basically, the NBA wanted to ban that shoe just because they didn't want him to wear it. Now, if you're not familiar, there was a older model which was a black and red Jordan 1, which is called the Band 1, and it has like a red X on the back of it, and those came out a couple years ago. I'm not 100% sure the exact year that came out, but it's a very popular shoe, of course, because it's a red colorway and it has that red X on the back. But basically, like I said earlier, the NBA was trying to ban that shoe. Nike ended up paying the fines for Michael Jordan in order for him to keep wearing the shoe, which is where we get the band terminology from when it comes to the band Jordan 1s, which is, like I said, the black and red colorway that was originally coming out. Now, these Rebellionaires are basically the second iteration of that shoe. So basically, how they were trying to ban the shoe and Michael was still wearing them, basically he was a rebel, so which is where we get the Rebellionaire name for this shoe. Now, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the Airship was actually the shoe that the NBA was trying to ban in the 1984 season, and not the actual Air Jordan 1. I did some quick back research just to kind of get an idea of the backstory of the band and the Rebellionaire name. Of course, we don't see too many Airships just because it's not a widely popular shoe like that compared to the Air Jordan 1. But I think just doing some quick research, the Airship was the original shoe that the NBA was trying to ban. But that is just a little history lesson on where the band name and the Rebellionaire name comes from. If I didn't earlier, I'll put up a pic of what the band ones look like. Basically, like I said, it's a red one with the red X on the back, and you see something similar, or you see very similar on the Rebellionaire. So let's go ahead and jump into it. Now to start with the box. This is the box. Of course, you see that red X on the top of the lid, and then you see the writing all around the box, and the writing says they can't stop you from wearing them. I believe it's them. Yeah, it's they can't stop you from wearing them, which is in reference to the shoes, of course. So you do have like the gray Nike logo on the side there, and that it's on wraps around the whole box. So of course, y'all know I love the special boxes. I like this. It's a very nice box. I like how they did this box. Very detailed with this one. So going to the label reads Air Jordan 1 Retro High OG, and the colorway is black, white, particle gray. Now this is a size 11.5, which is my personal size, and I believe retail on these is 170. There's no, of course, you know, they've been taking the retail price tag off on the shoes lately, so but I believe it's 170. I can check real quick because I have information. Yeah, 170 was the retail price, or is the retail price on these. Now, like I said at the beginning of the video, we're like in the middle of two releases. So these originally released, or not originally, but these released 2 days ago for me, which was March 12th, which was a Saturday. and they released at 6 stores, or I believe it's 5 or 6 stores across the country, and I can give you all those store names. So the store names were Undefeated, Unknown, Kicking It ATX, All the Right, and Corporate, and then a store in Canada called Makeway. And those were the stores that got pairs on this side of the world. I'm not sure if people got them in like Europe or whatever, but I know there were 6 on this side. So I know Undefeated did like an online drop. I did try. I didn't have any luck with Undefeated. And then I know Kicking It ATX, which is actually in Texas, and I believe it's like 3 hours away from me. They had, from what I heard they had between 1,200 and 1,500 pairs of the Rebellionaire ones at the store there, which if I had known they were going to have that many, I would have taken the drive to Austin myself and got a pair from there, because I did pay the high for these to be able to do review before they do the worldwide drop. So that was the original 6 stores, and there's doing another release on March 19th, which is this upcoming Saturday, and it's a lot of stores doing that. So the stores on the 19th will be AWOL, Bodega Concepts, Phenom Global, SVRN, Union, Active Athlete, Kicks Lounge, Juice, Feature, Sneaker Politics, St. Alfred, Wish, Likelihood, RSVP, Rock City Kicks, Puffer Red, Soulfly, Lapstone and Hammer, Premium Goods, Extra Butter, Social Status, Menir, Rooted, Burn Rubber, Shoe Gallery, Up NYC, No Trade, Dark Side Initiative, Stashed, and Cream 321. So if you notice anything about the places getting the shoes this upcoming Saturday, Sneakers is not releasing this shoe in the US. Now they are releasing a shoe on Sneakers in Europe, but in the US, the only places that will have this shoe are the sneaker boutiques across the country. So it's I don't know why Nike did that. It's really interesting when I heard that they were doing that, and then seeing all the stores that are getting them. It's still interesting to see, or I would like to know why exactly they're doing that. Like maybe to switch things up. I have no idea. There are 3 stores in Houston that are on here: Premium Goods, Social Status, and Menir. So we'll see. I guess I'll see what their release strategy will be for the shoes. They'll probably end up doing raffles for them. That's what they normally do at those stores. But I know at Kicking It ATX this past Saturday, I think you just had to get in line, and then you just went in and got your shoe size. But they had so many pairs that if you were there, you probably were able to touch a pair just because they had so many pairs. So I know I've talked a lot and give y'all history and everything, releases. So let's go ahead and jump into the shoe. So this is the Rebellionaire 1. So I'll give y'all the quick 360. Now, of course, y'all do see all that writing on the shoe, and it says the same thing that it says on the box, which is they can't stop you from wearing them. And like I said, in reference to Michael Jordan being able to wear these shoes. So we'll go ahead and start on the outsole. So you do have that particle gray outsole, and that's all on the bottom. And then moving up to the midsole, you have the all-white midsole, and that all-white midsole wraps all the way around the shoe. Now moving to the upper, just like you see on the lid of the box with that red X, you do have the red X on the back of the shoe as well. Of course, sticking with that band theme, which is on the band one, like I showed you earlier, you do have that red X. Now, continuing to the upper portion, or just continuing more onto the upper, we'll start at the toe box. So you do have that black, and it's almost like a leather. I guess that's the feel. It's not. I think it's leather. It's not suede or anything like that. That wraps around the shoes. We'll just go with leather for now. But that does wrap all the way around, and the whole upper is made of that leather. It just has the writing on it, which of course the writing is very different. I've never really had a shoe like this with the writing all around it. I'm kind of like in the middle with it. Like the shoe is still nice. It's just with the writing it's different. I will say that. Y'all know I love different shoes. So it is just a little bit different in that aspect. But does it turn me off from the shoe? I don't think so. I think, like I said, I'm on the fence, but I'm more of like, I don't mind it just because it is a dope looking shoe. Now continuing to the toe box, of course you still see more writing in that white with that particle gray toe box. And then continuing on, you do have that particle gray Nike swoosh, and that's on both sides of the shoe, that particle gray. And then continuing to the back of the shoe, you do have more particle gray wrapped all the way around. That wraps all the way around the shoe. Now you do have the black Jordan Wings logo. And then of course behind the Nike swoosh, you do have that black leather. And that's on both sides of the shoe. Now continuing on to the tongue, you do have a black nylon tongue, which is the normal Jordan 1 tongues that we get. And these do come with already laced in the shoe is some black laces. So you do have black laces already in there. And then they do come with additional white laces. So my lace bag was already detached, but this is the white laces that come with the shoe. Now, me personally, probably just leave the black laces in. Y'all know I just normally leave whatever comes in the shoe already in there. So that's probably what I would do. And then moving to the top of the tongue tag, you do have Nike Air written in that white color on the tongue tag. Now moving to the interior of the shoe, you do have that cardboard shoe tree with these. And then continuing on to the inside of the shoe, you have a black insole with Nike Air in that white lettering. So you have that there. Now I will give y'all the quick 360 of the other shoe. The only difference is probably just the writing on the shoe, as I'm sure there's some subtle differences between the two. But this is the other shoe. Now one thing that does kind of, I don't want to say worry me, but puts things into perspective for me is the color way of the shoe. Now, of course, with this gray and black, this shoe reminds me of the Shadows, and more specifically the Shadow 2.0s that we just got like a couple months ago. And I do have a personal pair of the Shadow 2.0s, but me personally, it's almost like if I'm going to keep these, why would I need to keep the Shadow 2.0s? Just because it's the same color style and really color blocking between the two shoes. And I know that a lot of people have the Shadow 1.0s as well. So I'd be curious to see if y'all were to cop this pair, would y'all keep the Shadow 2.0s or the Shadow 1.0s? I know for me personally, I probably wouldn't, just because I wouldn't want two of the same shoes that look exactly, or not exactly alike, but very similar to each other. And with this one being just such a different shoe, I'd be more inclined to keep this one. I know some people may say like, oh, you're just a hype beast and yada yada. I just like this one a little bit better. I know the Shadow 2.0s get a lot of kind of hate because of the quality on there. These are a lot better quality than the Shadow 2.0s. I must say so myself. So like I said, let me know how y'all feel about that. Like, will you keep this one and the Shadow 2.0? Would you get rid of one of them and only have one of them? I'd be curious to see what people's thoughts are on having two of the same shoes with very similar colorways on the shoe. But that is basically the entire review of the shoe. I know I talked a lot in this one, but it was a lot of history and release info that I needed to get to y'all, make sure y'all knew. So hopefully you stuck through the whole video and watched the whole thing. But let me know how y'all feel about these. Is this a must cop for you? Is this a pass? Also, are any stores in your area gonna have these? Like, are any of the boutiques that are supposed to release them on the 19th gonna have pairs? I'm curious to see, because those boutiques aren't everywhere, so not everybody will have access to the shoe, which in a way is kind of unfortunate for some of those people that do want the shoes. But hopefully y'all know somebody that can probably proxy you and try to get you a pair. But yeah, let me know if the boutiques in your area, or if there are any boutiques in your area on the list that will be getting pairs of these Rebellionaire ones, and will you be going for them, or is it a pass for you? And one other thing, I will say the resale price on these is not super high right now. I think last I checked, which was a couple days ago, they were sending like $250 and now like $250 to $300 range, which I was surprisingly kind of shocked, especially with how they're releasing this shoe and how limited it is. I think the biggest question right now is the stock number, which I've heard anywhere from 8,000 pairs to like 300,000 pairs, and nobody really knows the true stock number for these. So it'll just kind of be, just see how things go come Saturday the 19th. So like I said earlier, let me know how y'all feel about these. Must cop, pass, and also how do you feel about keeping these and the Shadow 2.0s or Shadow 1.0s if you have those. But as always, I appreciate y'all for stopping in and checking out the video. I should have I think one more early pair coming this week, just waiting on it to get shipped to me. But when I have that one, I will drop that one ASAP for y'all. As always, on the road to 1,000 subscribers. Like, we're, I think, almost less than 30 away. So if you have not subscribed yet, or if you're new here, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. Hit the like button, turn on the notification bell so you can stay today when I post new content. As always, appreciate y'all for stopping. Hope y'all stay safe and stay blessed. Like I said, have a great rest of the week, and I'll catch y'all in the next video.